Hey, thanks for hanging out with me. It's a hot, steamy July day in my Maine gardens, and we have a very special project. Hanging baskets. This may have happened to you, it's happened to me. You buy these beautiful hanging baskets at the beginning of the season, and for a whole lot of reasons, sometimes by this time of summer, they start looking a little not so pretty. And that can happen for a number of reasons that we'll talk about. So I am on a mission to keep my glasses on and to rescue these plants. So here's the story. I received some communications from this lovely woman who is a follower of my Maine gardens. And eventually we figured out that we don't live very far from each other. And I also found out that she is currently going through cancer treatment. So a few days ago, she graciously invited me to come out and meet her and tour her beautiful gardens. She is amazing, and like us, loves to garden, loves to take care of things, but the treatment has just left her unable to do a lot of that, including kind of taking care of the hanging baskets. So she was talking about how beautiful these were and how, they're really struggling. Look at this one. Look at the flowers on this one. And so I said, would you mind if I just took them home and gave them a little help? So let me bring them to Deb's rehab gardens. And so that's what we're going to do. So anyway, I'm going to show you how I'm going to fix these. And what I'd like you to do is subscribe to the channel or follow on social, and I will post updates. I'm going to hold on to these and not return them to her until they're beautiful again, and they will be. So the first thing I did is I gave them all a really good water. And then the second thing I'm going to do is just trim them way, way back, which looks a little scary. But when I look closely at these plants, there's some new growth in here that just needs a chance to shine. So we're going to take off all the dead stuff. We're going to give them all a big haircut. I'm going to repot them. It was not easy to find hanging baskets this time of year, but I did, in a pot that's larger than their existing pot. I don't know if you can see that, but it's just a few inches larger, because sometimes what happens with these, and we'll find out, is they can get root bound, because these were probably planted in the wintertime in greenhouses, and they may have just overgrown their pots. So I'm going to pull the plant out, I'm going to massage the roots, open them up a little bit, and then repot them with some really good potting soil, healthy soil in larger pots. These do have handles, by the way, handy things. I'm going to give it some organic slow release fertilizer and a touch of liquid fertilizer, because these are mature enough that they can handle that. So that's my plan. The plane. And then I'll give them a good water and take them to the recovery area, my recovery room, and just let them stay here for a little bit. And I'm thinking of her, and I'm honored that I could do something to hopefully brighten up her life a little bit, because she's, if you've been through that, Okay, so let's get started. All right, we're going to start with this beautiful orange flowering petunia. I did take all of the hanging things off, and this is just going to take, see these dead ones? Cut them off. Oh, I really should have a bucket. Oh well. I'm just going to cut this back. I usually like to start around the bottom, and even if you cut some of the live ones back, that is fine. But we're just going to give this a huge haircut. And I can see, I don't know if you can see it, but there's some growth in here. So that gives me hope that this can recover. And if I'm not going to cut any new growth that I see. So I'm just going to go around, keep going. And I know it seems really harsh, but I do see do see some babies. So I'm gonna cut down to where I see. For me, this sort of symbolizes what she's going through, you know? Living your beautiful life, and then you have a health crisis, and you have to cut back, and everything stops. You go through some really hard times, treatment. She will bloom again. And so will this plant. I have 100% faith in that. It looks so sad, but it will be glad. Okay. So, you know, and also by doing this, you're moving energy from all the energy that's going to those dead branches and trying to save all of those dying blooms. Energy's going back into developing some new blooms, some new growth. So the next step we're going to do is pull this plant out of this pot and see what we're dealing with in the roots. So let's do that and get a little dirty. Yeah, it came right off. Because look. See all those roots? See how tight that is in there? Grew right into the pot. That's part of the problem. It needs a bigger pot. And what we're going to do before we plant it is, I call it zhuzhing the roots. And we're just going to loosen them up. Oh, it feels so good. It tickles. And again, this might seem a little harsh, but look. Once you loosen those roots up, it's easier for them to spread and grow into their new happy home. Okay, put some soil in here. Oh my gosh, that looks, seriously, now I'm seeing little babies, little baby plants. Oh yeah, I have hope for this one. Solid hope. Yeah. All right, so now, I like this organic flower tone, slow release. And I just sprinkle this in. You can use what you want, but sprinkling, oof, downwind's not a good idea. Sprinkling in a little slow release fertilizer, zhuzh that in there, and then the final step is give it just a little bit of liquid fertilizer, and then just spray it down and let it sit and rest. And again, I'll keep you posted. So I have 3 more to do. Not sure you want to watch all of that because you probably have a life and things you would like to do. But I'll finish that, and then I'll show you the final product and what they all look like when I take them to their recovery room. Okay. So thanks for hanging out with me in My Gardens, and please send good karma to these plants, and please send good karma to their mom. And I will definitely show you how these are progressing. All right. Thanks for hanging out. I'm gonna get to work. Stay tuned to the end of the video, and I'll show you what they all look like when they're done. Okay.